my secure password, X. So while this is starting, so Android has been talked a lot about. Most recently, it's been talked about being used in a netbook style environment, and so we decided to take a look at it and see, what it's all about. What can Android do? What can it do? And myself and Debbie, where's Debbie? Debbie, stand up. We've taken a look at this Android. Debbie used to work at Palm, so she has some idea of phone operating systems. So, Android by itself, who here knows about Android? Everybody, right? Yeah. So, Android's a really great phone operating system. Actually, it's not even an operating system. Android is really a runtime environment that runs on top of Linux. And so, when people talk about it running on netbooks, it really has some inherent problems today. You can't mount USB drives for external storage. There's actually no visible cursor on the screen. There's just some basic things that standard operating systems need to do to support a full computing environment. So we decided that let's take a look and see if we can run Android, its runtime environment, and the applications on top of Ubuntu, because it'd be kind of cool, and you kind of have the best of both worlds: Android applications and a full functioning best-of-breed Linux operating system that can support full computing. So, there were some challenges to getting Android running on Ubuntu. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. So, first things was, Android, they have their own version of libc. So, all the applications are linked against their version of libc. So, even if you build this stuff for x86, they don't run out of the box. So, task one was to make it compile and link against the Ubuntu version of libc. So once we did that, we were able to get the Dalvik virtual machine running. And then we could do some hello world applications. Then we kept iterating over it, and Debbie and I would run the services in the debugger and see what was failing and what wasn't. And so, after all said and done, and a lot of hacking, we were able to actually launch, right from the UNR desktop, these Android applications. So this is not being emulated. This is the actual Dalvik virtual machine and Android runtime running on Ubuntu, and we can actually have them run in different separate processes, which is kind of neat. So all the keyboard functionality and the touchscreen stuff is integrated, which is kind of nice. So you can you can bring up the little menus and so on, which is nice. And you can also run the full Android launcher if you want as well, which would bring you back to what the phone actually looks like. So you can navigate around as if you were actually on the phone. If my touchpad would work. So it's kind of neat. It's pretty fast, and a lot of the services are integrated already. The runtime doesn't actually think we're on the network, but we actually are. So you can use the Google browser if you want, and so on. We're actually not on that, are we? Yeah, the Ethernet's connected, but it's not really working. So you can see it's kind of cool. What's nice too is if I go back here, let me open up an editor here. Let me kill these real quick. Bear with me. I'm just going to do a little Wizard of Oz stuff here. So, and if we change a little settings here, it's kind of nice if we can run these things in windowed mode, so we can have all of them kind of up together. So you can have multiple, Android applications running at the same time, which is fun. So I'm sorry. George just asked a very good question. Is there a performance hit for doing this? No, not really, because this is actually the way it works on the Google phone itself. So the Dalvik VM is really, really small and takes up a small amount of memory. It's not like the Java VM that is really huge. Do you guys know what the Dalvik VM is? Anybody know? Dalvik VM is a virtual machine that you take Java class files. So you write Java applications, you compile them to class files, and then you run another compiler over those class files and creates DEX files, which are these highly optimized bytecodes that get interpreted by the VM. So there's no just-in-time compiler or anything. It just very quickly executes these optimized bytecodes. So this is a good proof of concept. I think where we need to go with this next is integrate some of the Android kernel drivers into the kernel to really make this thing work fully. Not all the applications run together at all. How do we get the marketplace in here? How do we have these applications able to use user data, like your music, movies, and pictures that you already have on your own system? So there's a number of things that still need to be done, but I think it's fun. I think it's a good thing to explore and try to do. So that's kind of it. Yeah. Questions? Yes.
So how much faster do the Android apps run native compared to running them in an emulator, for instance, via the Android SDK?
Yeah, I don't know the exact number, but it's certainly noticeably faster. Yeah. So the question was, Android has an in-kernel IPC mechanism, and are we using that here? No, we're not. There was a way to trick the runtime into not having to use that, but we do want to go there. So in the karmic kernel, we do have that driver in the staging area. So the next task is to get this all running on karmic to exploit that. Yeah. Mark, yeah. Didn't see you over there.
How complete is Dalvik as a potential sort of replacement or extension or enhancement to Java as we know it? So we should run Tomcat under Dalvik.
So I think, the question was, how complete is Dalvik, and could it be used as a replacement for Sun's VM? I don't think it's there yet, and I think the reason for that is the Dalvik VM is a very good execution environment for bytecodes. The pieces that are missing are the stuff on top of the VM, all of the Sun classes that are needed to execute things that are written to the Sun VM. Android is not a Java compliant system. It's a Java. It uses the Java language, but it's not compliant by any means. It doesn't pass any of it. It doesn't pass all the TCK tests and so on. So I think it'd be a ways to replace it. It is interesting though. You can write some pretty compelling applications that run very fast. So I think aside from Android, I think the Dalvik environment is a compelling one to write some new cool applications for Ubuntu.
How far away is this from being packageable?
So it is packaged right now. There is a dev package for what you see here. However, it needs to be packaged a little bit better. The changes that have been made to Android are not proper patches as of yet. So we want to do all that first, and then our goal is to put it into a PPA and so on. And actually even to BZR upon launch.
Can you explain why it's so fast? Why is it boring?
Well, so it's fast for two reasons. One, the question was, why is it so fast? It's fast for two reasons. It's very lightweight. As you can see, Android doesn't have many layers to it. There's no X server. There's no GNOME. There's no huge stack. It's a GL surface running on a frame buffer device, and the GL has accelerated OpenGL behind it, right to the hardware. So that's actually what's being used here. This runtime is being drawn in a GL surface, and the OpenGL ES behind it is accelerated. So that's really why it's so fast. Ted?
Can you get rid of the panel, the clock, and the applets? Or is that not possible?
Say, I can't hear you.
Can you get rid of the panel, the clock, and the applets in each window, or is that not possible?
Oh yeah, the question is, can we get rid of the phone-ish type toolbar at the top? Debbie, you tried to do that right, real quick, but it's pretty tightly integrated right now.
We wanted to do that. It just wasn't a quick thing.
Right. It wasn't like comment out, show toolbar. We tried that, but didn't work.
The services work or not?
The services, yes. So the services are all running, but as part of one process right now. Each of these applications, not only is the application running, the VM, but also the services are running. So we need to have the kernel driver, this binder device that they call it, in order to actually properly start all these services as their own process. But that is certainly the goal. Are we out of time? Yeah. So we're out of time. Thanks.
Sessions.